Okay, so that was the most epic episode of Game of Thrones I have ever seen. Season 8, Episode 3. It's called The Longest Night, or how I like to call it, World War Z. Welcome guys, Chris Chavez here from Nerd News, and oh my god, what a time it is to be alive. You have Marvel's Endgame killing it in the box office, and then you have Game of Thrones just straight up killing people. Last night's episode was beyond epic. In fact, if you look up epic in the dictionary, it'll say, go to HBO, watch Game of Thrones. And also, before we continue on with this episode, there will be spoilers all up in this episode's grill. I'm going to be talking all about the scenes that made me really excited and made me grip my couch cushions like I was in the battle itself, and I realized my couch cushion isn't this high. Don't know why. I'm doing this, and I'm still doing it. Alright, so in this episode, winter is here. It is here in full effect, full force, and it is absolutely terrifying. Now, this battle promised to be a lot bigger than that of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Lord of the Rings, what's wrong with you? Go watch Lord of the Rings. Now, the Battle of Helm's Deep was a massive battle on film. It was just in scale, one of the biggest battles filmed. This episode in Game of Thrones promises to be not just the most expensive battle scene to film, but the longest. Literally the entire episode, give or take a few scenes, is this battle. And you can tell that they threw all the money into this episode because it is strictly chaos/horror all up in Winterfell. And in true horror movie fashion, there has to be a scene where you have to be quiet in order to have the White Walkers not hear you. Much like the raptors in Jurassic Park. Or much like World War Z at the ending with Brad Pitt's character. Arya has this exact same situation in this room that she's in. She is quietly moving from one place to another to try to get out of this room, and ends up in the process, being trapped with all of these zombies. I keep calling them zombies. They're zombies. They're the same thing. So we see everyone preparing for the dead at Winterfell. They are all in their designated areas. They have their plans set. They know what to do. Now they're just awaiting death to arrive. Now, the crazy part about this scene, the death, they can hear them coming. Everyone's lined up and they're ready to go. But, there's something missing. So we know at this point that the White Walkers, fire can kill them. Fire and dragon glass. Those are the things, the elements that finally will put an end to them. Fire. So as the army is lining up, Melisandre, the Red Queen, comes in, the Red Witch, sorry. She comes in and she grabs one of the blades of the entire front line and does her little Lord of Light spell, Arachno Necto Varakta. And poof! All of their swords are instantly flaming swords. Now the cool thing about this is one of the most visually stunning parts of this episode. As the camera pans out, you just see all of their swords just light up. And it's just visually stunning the way that they showed it from an aerial shot. But it sets the stage for okay, this is beautiful, but issue's getting real now. So they just start charging into the darkness, charging towards the evil, creepy sounds. And what happens when they reach the darkness? It is like a virus. They just get swarmed by this plague of dead. And the creepy thing about this is the sounds that the undead make, it's almost alien George R.R. Romero, Day of the Dead kind of sounds. It is just terrifying. If you just watch that part of Game of Thrones and close your eyes, and you just, you heard everything that's going on, you would be a little terrified. Now, of course, we're all wondering where Jon and Dany are. They are on a huge cliff with their two amazing dragons. And this part is also really, really visually beautiful. They have a huge aerial battle with the Night King and his ice-breathing dragon up in the clouds and the moonlight and the snow coming down. It is just a visually stunning action sequence. Now it cuts back between what's going on the ground and what's going up in the sky, but my God, the visuals are very, very good. This is where sci-fi and fantasy just kind of clash together and make this beautiful Game of Thrones baby. Now, as the battle rages on the ground, you see all of your favorite characters just fighting for their life. You see Jaime, and as he's getting attacked by so many different undead, you're like, dude, please stay alive. You have one arm. You need to live. Jaime's my favorite character, in case you haven't noticed. And the third part about this this episode, in the crypt, you have all the women, the children, you even have Sansa and Varys and Tyrion. So they're all down there, and you would think that's the safer place to be. What does the Night King do? I don't know why he made that sound. We'll go with it. Just pretend that was part of it. The Night King just brings the dead back, what's in the crypt? Starks, the dead Starks. So they kick out of their crypts and they come out and they start attacking the women and children. Not a safe place to be. Sorry, Sansa, but that was a bad plan. Bran knows what's going on. He knows exactly. He's like Doctor Strange. He's seen this episode I don't know how many times, so he knows the end result. So as Theon, speaking of Theon, it's funny. When the show starts, you despise Theon. You hate him. Then you start to hate him a little bit more, and then you start feeling bad for him. And then you start feeling a little bit more bad for him, and then you start empathizing with him, and then you start being like, okay, come on, you encourage him, and now he's finally at a place where he understands who he needs to be and what he needs to do. And what does he do? He not only saves his sister, but he goes back to Winterfell and protects his family and his home. He protects Bran. So Bran is off. That's me rolling my eyes. He morphs into the crows, and he's kind of flying, doing his thing. Now the Night King shows up. What does Theon do? See, this is the redeeming moment. Bran tells him, "You're a good man," and that's all Theon needed to hear. He just rushes the Night King with his staff, tries to kill him, but of course, Night King stabs him in the side. That's the end of him. But his character arc ends perfectly the way it should. He redeemed himself, and he is a man. Let's go back to the Night King for a second. So there's a part where the Night King falls off of his dragon. Daenerys sees him. What does she do? She gives the command. Burns him, right? And she has this look on her face like, I got him, I got the bastard. But then the fire clears and he's still alive and he's smiling. And in that moment I realized the Night King is a Targaryen. But who exactly is he? Specifically, who in relations is he to Daenerys, or even Jon for this matter? And then the most epic part in this entire episode, the Night King is reaching for Bran, gonna kill him, and out of nowhere, Arya comes in with her best impression of Ezio from Assassin's Creed, jumps, about to stab him. Of course, Night King grabs her throat. She's holding the knife. You think it's over for Arya. She drops the knife, catches it with her other hand, stabs him in his stomach. Bam! Arya just saved humanity! Now at this point, when you're watching the show, you're losing your mind. You're jumping, you're screaming. It's like your favorite team winning the Super Bowl. You are just over the moon. Such an epic scene. And it just goes to show you, someone that small shouldn't be underestimated. Arya is definitely someone to be reckoning with. I could see her killing the Mountain. Just saying. She could probably do it. But I just wanted to talk about some cool moments in this episode. But Game of Thrones, what did you think of Season 8, Episode 3? Was it as epic as you hoped it would be, or did you want more? Let me know in the comments below, and if this is your first time here, please hit the notification bell to be notified of all future episodes, and please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys, and until then, let Winterfell live out in your hearts.